I taught him to sing me a story because that's I love using books with children and using them in different ways to teach music concepts and sometimes spiritual concepts. I honestly looked at the books that I have and they're mostly musical concepts today. But I wouldn't say this is necessarily preschool. It just depends. And I've also discovered that older children like to be young sometimes. And a case in point was a couple of weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago in Bible school, I had to do the music time with all those movements. And I had a playlist, and for my preschool group, I had some preschool songs in addition to what came with the Bible school curriculum. And my helper accidentally hit a preschool song when the fourth graders were in there. And I'm like, oh no, and they're like, can we do it? And so I'm like, okay. And so we did it, and it was movements, and it was the Grow to Grace song, I've Got Rhythm. I've got rhythm in my hands. I've got rhythm in my feet. I've got rhythm in my hands. I've got rhythm in my feet. I can hop, hop, hop to the steady beat. And you hop like 300 times. Okay? It seems like. And then I ended up having to do it with every class. And so I actually added up for the whole week and told my husband how many times I hopped. And I thought if I'd had a Fitbit on. But they requested that song the rest of the week, every day. We do that preschool song. I really love that. So just because something is one age or the Beverly, one age or the other doesn't mean that it won't work. It's amazing to me. Anybody know this book? It's called Eric Carle From Head to Toe. You have this one? We love Eric Carle. But this one involves some activities, so it might be nice if you stand. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. We've been sitting and we just need to move a little bit. And so it's just, I am a penguin. I can turn my head. Can you do it? Thank you. She can close the door. Can you do it? I am a giraffe, and I bend my neck. Can you do it? I can do it. I am a buffalo. I can raise my shoulders like we tell kids not to do when they're singing. Can you do it?
I can do it.
I am a monkey, and I can wave my arms. Can you do it?
I can do it.
I am a seal. I clap my hands. Can you do it? I am a gorilla. I thump my chest. Can you do it?
I can do it.
Sorry. I am a cat. I can arch my back. Can you do it?
I can do it.
Somebody will have to explain this one to me later. I am a crocodile. I can wriggle my hips. Can you do it? I do it. know Sandra Boynton personally, but I know her heart.
That's great.
And her stuff just, it just speaks to children. It speaks to me. What I don't know what that says about me, but she got her little artwork and just the simple drawings, and then just the simple words that go with it. I picked this one up several years ago, called Happy Hippo, Angry Duck. How many of you know this book? This is a good notion kind of book. And Growing Grace, I guess it was maybe the first year, had these little emoticons things. And you know what? I actually found them on my computer today. I thought I'd lost them. But they had the little guys with some sort of description. This one was afraid. And this one, shy. Happy. Sad. Surprised. Angry, sleepy, and silly. And what I did with that is, was with my preschoolers, I did this book with them. And we talked about feelings and how everybody has a different feeling on any given day or a given part of any given day. And that, you know, that's fine. You know, even adults get angry and sad and silly. And so from then on, for the rest of that semester, each week when they would come in, they would take the popsicle stick, they found their name on it, and they would put it in the emotica that the way they felt. And there was one, this one right here. Of course, they were 4-year-olds, so they couldn't read. But my little Flint, who was just the cutest little guy, little towhead blonde, every week put his in the angry cup and said, "I'm mad," and just walked away. And I don't know why he was mad, but anyway, he was mad every week. And so, but it kind of, you know, helps them, and then they feel like they're reading, and you also check the roll that way. Done. But let me share Happy Hippo Angry Duck. I love this. Hello, little person. How are you? Is your mood quite terrific? Or are you only okay? Are you happy as a hippo? Angry as a duck? Maybe sad as a chicken? Can you sadly say, cluck, cluck, cluck? Cluck, cluck, cluck. Are you grumpy as a moose? Are excited as a dog? Worried as a rabbit? Contented as a frog? Perhaps like a pig, you are sweetly amused. Or perhaps like a cow, you're completely confused. You might feel that somehow you've lost all your fizz. Or you're frazzled like a frazzle thing. I'm not sure what that is. Well, I hope you're happy, but if you're not, you have friends who will help you. We like you a lot. And a difficult mood is not here to stay. Every mood's change every day. Unless you're that duck. He's always this way. But kind of a great little icebreaker. We're gathering them in the circle when half of them cried, you know, because they spilled their SpaghettiOs and they didn't want to leave the mom, or they didn't want to leave the toy, or whatever it was. There's a lot of emotion in preschool. It's a great little book. And you can dramatize it, you can act it out, and even make up a song. Let them help you make up a song to go with it. Again, that's on your list. Anything just about by Sandra Boynton can become a musical activity. So be on the lookout for those. One, I think the very favorite one was Barnyard Dance.
Yeah.
That she did. And that's just a super one. You are mostly all just kind of eat up with being children's choir people, right? And music teachers. People know us when they see us because the trunks in our car look like this. And when we go shopping, we buy strange things in quantities. And so one day I was in a store, a children's store, and came across this book called Orange Pear, Apple Bear. Do you know this book? And I sat down on the floor and just fell in love with this book. And I'm going to do what I found to do with it. I apologize if you can't see. You might want to kind of hover over any way that you can. But I have to have props. This book has 4 words. Guess what they are?
Orange, pear, apple, pear.
Okay, why can't I think of things like that? So what I did was I found it, and I found this bear who looks almost exactly like the bear in the book. He's nice and fat. Then I went to the Walmart or something, and they had on clearance. They had these things. You know what these are? Those swim dive things you swim for. Those swim things you dive for. Those, you know what I'm talking about. They had them on clearance, and there are all these colors. And I thought they look like itty bitty hula hoops that we use sometimes for beats. So we have one of those. And one of those. And you do this with your toes sitting around. And this is how it goes. And I apologize you can't see. You're welcome to stand where you are. And you can even stand over here. Orange, pear, apple, pear. Orange. Pear. Apple. Bear. Could you read that?
Orange, pear, apple, pear.
Okay. Apple. Pear. Orange. Bear. Can you read that one?
Apple, pear, orange, pear.
Orange. Pear. Apple. Bear.
Orange, pear, apple, pear. Apple, orange, pear, bear. Orange, pear, apple, pear. Apple, bear, orange, pear. Orange, bear. Pear, bear. Apple, bear. Bear.
There. Has 5 words in the book. See, hear what's going on? See what's going on? So they're actually reading rhythms in a different way. And then they can actually do the book all by themselves. Love this book. And you could actually put melody with it. You could make it a so-me song or so-la-me song. But I absolutely love that. And these are Dollar Tree, type fruit. I always leave tags on things for conferences so you know that where it came from. But anyway, fun things that we find when we're not looking for teaching activities. Orange, pear, apple, bear. Love this. And did you notice how quiet you got when we were doing that? They will too. They will do that as well. Do you know this book?
Yeah.
If you know Dora Ann Purdy, you know this book. I'm not going to read this book. You might want to take a look at it, take a break if you haven't. This is a great little book to give to choir workers if you're a minister of music or choir coordinator. Also, we have, as part of our Wednesday night program, we have some art teachers. It's good for anybody involved in the arts and teaching children, but it's an encouraging book about taking children who say, I can't, and frustrated, and just say, just start. And this is a great way. They gotta start somewhere, or they never sing, right? So this is a great encouragement book for that. And this one, do you know this one? Okay. Some of us might need an experience with this. So what I need is everybody to have a drum. So that may be too many for your road. And you can do this with real drums. You can do this with body percussion. You can do it with pass those behind you. Here too. But when you're traveling from Georgia, you don't want to bring 55 hand drums, so let's go with something cheap. There's not enough, there's plenty more here. So this one we're gonna have a little response. So you're gonna interact in the story, hand, fingers, thumb. And there are different ways to do it, and I've done it different ways. Hand, fingers, thumb.
Hand, fingers, thumb.
And then there are other things you can add, but we're going to keep that one simple for now. We may add another one, but when you give me hand, fingers, thumb. Okay? Hand, fingers, thumb. Hand, fingers, thumb. One thumb, drumming on a drum. Oh, and you copied what I read instead of what you were supposed to repeat. So you have an option. You can ignore that, you can let that go. I'm not going to let that go. I want you to play that ostinato, that repeated pattern. Ready? Go. One hand, two hands drumming on a drum. Dum, diddy. Dum, diddy, dum, diddy, dum, diddy, dum. Rings on fingers, ringed on thumb. Drum, 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 drum. Monkeys drum and monkeys hum. Hum drum, hum. Hand picks an apple, hand picks a plum. Dum diddy, dum, dum, dum. Now, could you play that while I read?
Yeah.
Keep playing while I read. Let's get you started, and let's see if I can read. Let's play banjos, drum. Let's play fiddles, zum. Dum diddy, dum, dum. Hand in hand, more monkeys. Many more fingers, many more thumbs, many more monkeys, many more drums. Millions of fingers, millions of thumbs, millions of monkeys drumming on drums. Dum diddy, dum. And if you can, for your little older kids, that's good enough for preschool, okay? But that dum might be a little bit hard. But when you do it with an actual drum, you can do dum. You can do it there. And you can orchestrate it with sticks and medals and other instruments, and you can add marching and the millions of monkeys, millions of drums. Great, it just goes on and on and on and on. I've got little visuals that go with it, but just on and on and on, and you can kill the last 10 minutes of choir when you ran out of things to do. Yeah. Or the night that your workers don't show up and it's just you. Nobody ever has that. All right, let's take a look at your handout. So we covered books. Another thing, I skipped down to props. I skipped over props. And I'm constantly on the lookout for props. The little rings are an example of just an happy accident of finding those things. But I use a lot of puppets, and these puppets are, they're very realistic, and they're made by Folk Manus, and you find them, Barnes and Noble has these a lot. You find them online too, and occasionally you can find them cheaper at Amazon. But I like to use puppets, and I'm telling you, it's not just for preschool. It's not just for preschool. This little guy came last year. I got him just before Bible school time, and we did the Lifeway Jesse D3. You guys remember that one? If you didn't, bless you. That was total earworm. But I called him D3, and so I would bring him in. He had sunglasses and everything. But we used him in the Bible school music. So it happened when the kids came in. They were 3 and 4 years old last year. When they came into music time this year, they said, "Where is D3 from last summer?" So it's amazing the effect that little things like that have on them. So let's use it in a more musical way. Let's have an owl song. So if you have the answer to this question, okay, do what it says. Who is wearing red today? Red today, red today. Who is wearing red today? Please stand up. So we're going to sing "We Are Wearing Red Today," and let's all sing that. Ready? We are wearing red today, red today, red today. We are wearing red today. Please sit down. Who is wearing purple today, purple today, purple today? Who is wearing purple today? Please stand up. Okay. We are wearing purple today, purple today, purple today. We are wearing purple today. Please sit down. So you get the idea. Same thing. We do the color songs in 50 different ways. But there's something really magical about the owl. You also get to work on the who. Everybody sing who? Ooh. I wonder if we could make it go in a different direction. Ooh. Ooh. Could we go a loop-de-loop? Ooh. Can we go backwards? Ooh. So we got the owl, and you all know the owl says who. And it's not the owl from Harry Potter, but he really does look like it. So that's a Folk Manus puppet. And anytime I use them, when I have him out, he is engaged. That you don't walk around with him like this. He's actually engaged, and that way, it's that suspension of disbelief that children want to buy into that. So they're not always sure he's not real. They like that little thing. Okay? And of course, the thing is over here, and my stuff is over there. Another type of puppet that I've grown to love are puppets on a stick. And I've got a whole caboodle of these. And I'm sorry I don't remember who these are made by, and I left my thing at home. But his name is Tito. You know why his name is Tito? Tito. It's like, I actually got that from Dora Ann Purdy because it was like numerous people had sent her songs, and every single one of them had Tito in it. So we bought this in honor of Dora Ann. But fine. So puppets come to have their own little, even their own melody pattern. But those are neat, and the kids can manage those. It's just a little thing on the side. And then there are hand puppets. Everybody should have a frog hand puppet because you need a wide mouth. Open wide mouth. Everybody should have one of those. I'm going to take you over with me. Okay. Another type of story is a steady beat story. And this one we put in the chorister last winter. If you're not a Chorister Guild member, which I think you should be. But you get the Forester, I think there were 2 issues that Pamela Vanderwalker did a series of Take a Break. And so it's like take a break from choir and just have a theme night. And so one of the theme nights was winter. And so we did this polar bear story. And so we did instead of each story. And so again, this could be body percussion, it could be movement, or it could be instruments. And so let's make it. I'll read the story and you are the accompaniment. Got it? As I was sitting by the fire one cold and snowy day, I heard a knocking at my door. Could friends be here to play? I jumped up from my easy chair, ran quickly to the door, and much to my delight I saw not just one friend but 4. They said, "You'd better hurry. Grab your coat and run. We need to show you something. We think it's really fun." I grabbed my woolly mittens, shoved each foot into a boot. I hurried through the kitchen and out this door to scoot. My friends were standing all around, laughter filled the air. Right there in my driveway was a giant polar bear. At first I could not say a word, my eyes were huge with fear. I then began to wonder, what's he doing here? My friend seemed not to fear at all. Of this I was suspicious. The polar bear stood very still, seemed calm, not even vicious. And then I realized that bear was just a mound of snow created by my funny friends to give my heart a go. And that line got cut off. To give my heart a go. Darby Dog landed on top of it and wiped it out. So you can add that. Give my heart a go. And you saw that I blew through a couple of those rhythms. When you're going to read things in rhythm like that, boy, you have to practice it. And it takes a while, and you get distracted, and then it's like, whoop, there it went, and now it's gone. But you do. All those books, they're not necessarily laid out properly to do them in rhythm, and all of them don't work well. Not all of them work well. But you do have to practice it. Don't do it on the fly on a Wednesday night and go, that didn't work. Try it on your husband or your wife at home, or your children, or your dog. But see how neat that is to dramatize just a simple story and engage the children. Now, this one's going to require some movement around the room. So what I need you to do is lay your belongings and scatter yourself down. And I'm going to stand right here so you can see. I'm going to introduce you to Darby Dog. This is Darby Dog. He's another folk menace puppet. And look at y'all in your perfect row. Stop it! Scatter loud. Teachers, all get in rows. This came to live with me because I had a Jack Russell Terrier much like this one. She would have, if she had lived to March, she would have been 19 years old. We put her down back last October. So she had quite a history. And if you know Jack Russell Terriers, they're quite active. And she was active until about a year ago. She was still a jumper. So kids love dogs. So what we're going to do is Darby's going to help us with our movement. Is we have a little song, and of course I sent you away without the music, so it goes like this. I have a dog named Darby, yes, Darby is her name.
I have a dog named Darby, yes, Darby is her name.
She loves to go for rides and walks, eat snacks or play a game.
She loves to go for rides and walks, eat snacks and play a game.
I call her name, her ears prick. I call her name, her ears perk up, her tail begins to wag.
I call her name, her ears perk up, her tail begins to wag.
Without that dog, I know it's true, life would not be the same.
Without that dog, I know it's true, life would not be the same.
That's a little pomada. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do do, we sing this song, and of course just do the best you can because you don't know the music, don't get away from me. And Darby is going to stop in front of someone at the end of the song. And if Darby stops in front of you, you get to tell us what we would like to do while we la 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 the song again. Keep in mind, you also have to do it. And humming is a bad idea. Okay, ready? And let's move around while we do that. Here we go. I have a dog named Darby, yes, Darby is her name. She loves to go for walks and walks and snacks or play a game. I call her name, her ears perk up, her tail begins to wag. Without that dog, I know it's true, life would not be the same. All right, Judith, what should we do with Darby?
March.
Oh, march. Okay, so let's la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Nikki, what would you like to do, Darby?
Clap.
Oh, I like her. Here we go. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm afraid. Bradley, what would you like to do?
Tiptoe.
Ooh, tiptoe. Let's go. And did you notice what we did on tiptoes? It's so funny. They know, don't they? They would do the very same thing. You don't tiptoe and sing loud. Why would you do that? This is so interesting. See how that works? You can kill the last 10 minutes of fire when your choir workers don't show up. But highly recommend that you need a Jack Russell Terrier in your life, and if it's a stuffed one, even better. Okay. I tend to create things that fit my life and where I am and who I'm working with. So Darby came out of that. And when Darby died, I was convinced I needed to wait a long time to get a dog. And they say wait. We waited for weeks. No, we waited 2 weeks. We couldn't stand it. It was just so quiet in the house. And then I did the dumbest thing ever. Having not had a puppy in the house for 19 years, I said, oh, let's get a puppy. Well, we got a puppy, and she is interesting. But she's called Anna, and that's that next story on there. Anna was born, okay, my husband named her. She was born on our anniversary. So let's name her Anniversary. But we'll always remember her birthday. But anyway, Anna has, she's mixed breed. We're like, I'm over the pure breeds. I've had a pure breed Jack Russell. I've had a purebred Cocker Spaniel. Like, I'm over that. I'm all into, let's do a rescue. And we're going to rescue a puppy who's not house trained. I'm going to do the right thing. But Anna has these pointy ears. She's got some dachshund in her, but her ears are not dachshund. It's interesting. She's got the pointy ears, and they're kind of hairy, but they point a little bit like a Jack Russell. And then she has the most killer tail you have ever seen. Her tail, I promise you, makes a perfect loop like this, and it's got this massive blonde hair. Her backside is a blonde. The rest of her is multicolored, but there's this blonde thing, and it's just the sassiest thing you've ever seen. She's about this big, and about that much of her is tail. But she has that that tail. So you have visuals down here at the bottom of your sheet. For her ears, whenever I talk about her ears, we're going to make them go whoop, 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 whoop. Try that.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
And it's really good to do your hand. It's very satisfying. So do your hand when you
Whoop, 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 whoop.
and you need to do your head up and down. Really pointy ears. Okay, and then we're going to talk about her tail. And notice I made her tail really, really swirly. Swirly. And let me see, where is that tail? Oh, we're just doing wee. So we're going to go wee. And then you do it twice.
Whee!
Okay? And then when we call her Anna.
Anna.
And then we're going to say, good night, Anna.
Good night,
And
Anna.
then sometimes she walks on her 4 white paws, and so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then sometimes she eats her food, gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Drinks her water, glug, glug, glug.
Glug, glug, glug.
She speaks in her high voice, yep, yep, yep.
Yep, yep, yep.
And she gives you a sloppy kiss, slurp, yuck.
Slurp. Yuck.
And when you give her a hug, squeeze and give yourself a hug. Okay, I think I've covered all of that. Okay, so here we go. You're participating. This is a verbal sound story. You've done sound stories with instruments and so forth. Now this is verbal with sound effects. I have a dog. I named her Anna. This is how I call her to come. Anna,
Anna.
She perks up her ears.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
She runs to me on 4 white paws.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When she sees me, her fluffy, curly tail gets really excited.
Whee! Whee!
Sometimes she speaks to me in her high voice. Sometimes she gives me a big, sloppy kiss.
Slurp. Yuck.
I usually give her a big hug. Squeeze. I say, Anna, are you hungry? She perks up her ears.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
She runs to her bowl on her 4 white paws.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Her fluffy, curly tail gets really excited.
Whee! Whee!
I fill her bowl, and she gobbles her food.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Then she drinks all her water.
Glug, glug, glug.
Then it's nap time. I call her name softly this time.
Anna.
She comes slowly on her 4 white paws.
1, 2, 3, 4.
She crawls into her bed and turns around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then she quietly lies down. Soon she's dreaming and snoring softly.
Good night, Anna.
There's not too many kids that won't buy into that. There's something about puppy, right? Something about a puppy that they will buy right into that. And then once they know the story, they don't even need you to tell the story. Then they will tell the story. And then they will forever want to know, what's Anna doing and what has Anna done this week? Anna has more Facebook friends than I do. Here's another story. This I've actually written for a little conference and for adults, but I thought this was kind of neat with the colors. It kind of goes back to the feelings thing we did with the cups and the angry hippo, or the happy hippo, angry duck. But this one you can have some action, act out the drama. How do you feel? Do you feel blue? What precisely does blue mean to you? And you could be like, kids, show you. Everybody show me. What would the blue look like to you? It could be happy to you. If it's your favorite color, like the ocean. The ocean is my favorite color. How about red? Is that your choice? Tell all about it in your best red voice. Everybody speak red. Red, 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 red. Maybe you're green. Perhaps that's the case. Show us your green and your greenest green face. I don't know what green looks like. Maybe. Yellow, goldenrod, lemon, or sunny. How do you feel? Are you feeling quite funny? You may feel like colors, vibrant or pale. Your feathers may droop and you're dragging your tail. Can you drag your tail? I think so. Are your colors mixed wildly? Purple and brown, swirling together like a symphony of sound. Whatever your status, whatever your state, we're glad you're here with us. We sure think you're great. No matter your color, no matter your hue, we can't have a picture of we without you. Again, another opening session kind of thing. In the chorister last year, I had Nan Grantham, a Texan, do a series for preschoolers, preschool pages, we call them. Some of you may use those, and we should really put those in a book. Just a wealth of her long-time knowledge of preschool stuff. So this year, I said, would you do one more year, and would you do 3-year-olds? So for beginning with the August issue of Chorister, we'll have a year's worth of 3-year-old activities by Nan Grantham. And I said, I promise I'll help. So she's just such a great mind. So here's See the Leaves is one for this fall. See the leaves, watch them fall, catch a leaf, catch them all. We post that so it could be every bit echoed. Red and yellow, green and brown, rake the leaves, swish them round. And it's just a simple, active, act out the leaf song. And you know, in the fall, already you can go to Hobby Lobby and buy all the fall stuff. So you can go buy the silk leaves, you know, get the different colors. Because I don't think in Texas there are too many colorful leaves on there. Not so much. So you really have to show them pictures. And this is what it looks like in other places, because, you know, places like Florida and Texas, they don't get a lot of that color. And even South Georgia, we don't have color, but in West Georgia where I live, we do have color. So it's nice to know that those things happen in other places in the world. And we are not the center of the world. I wanted to tell you about another little thing that's going to be in the spring preschool this year of Growing in Grace. And did a story, it's a carnival of the animals kind of thing. Not the one you know, but it has music put with it. I want to just let you hear a little bit of that, because this is really sweet. So if you happen to be a Growing in Grace person, you get a preview. This is the lady that did some other reading. She did it was the instrument sounds, and she has, I don't know if she's from Australia or, but anyway, she has this wonderful accent. Let me just share a little bit of this. But this is the kind of thing that you can kind of create yourself by talking about an object or animal, and then find music to fit what it is. But this is called Carnival of Animals by Nan Grantham.
The children were so excited. Grandpa was taking them to the animal carnival that had just arrived in their town. They watched eagerly as each animal took its place for the carnival. The royal lions walked regally to the top of the hill. The perky kangaroos hopped down the path to the meadow. The hungry hens and roosters stepped out and began hunting and pecking for food.
It goes on. It's, again, you could kill the last 15 minutes of your preschool. That I think is going to be a favorite. But that kind of thing is another way to tell story with music. This is a new book. It's hot off the press. It's available from Foresters Guild. It's called All Hands In. And this is Mark Burroughs and Brian Henn, who were both here this week. This is nothing but Bible stories done with percussion. And it is just, I'm so excited. I mean, it's so new that I haven't worked out all the pieces of it. But it has the DVD of Brian giving you tips on how to accomplish this. But it has, you have a percussion group, and you have all those percussion words. And it's just really simple. Part of it is direct quote from the Bible, that you put a Bible beat with it, which is one of my favorite things to do. And then you have a groove with different parts. And then some of them have a narration part. And then there's suggestions for hooking up with story anthems. Which brings me to one of the best ways to sing a story, and that is through music. Earlier we read Go Down Moses, which is an anthem. So the kids never outgrow singing stories. And then we also did The Fish Caught Him, which was the Jonah story. One of my favorite series of anthems is those Houston Children's Chorus things that Paul Williams wrote. All those characters. Probably Goliath is my kids at church is their absolute favorite. Every night they would sing it every week, and it tells the story. So anytime we can put those stories in their mouths and in their hearts, and the words stay with them. They never forget those words, and so those stories are going right along with them, and it becomes part of their faith base, which as church musicians is what we're sort of about, is it not? So, questions, comments about stories and singing stories, or successes that you may have had singing stories.
Could you elaborate a little more on using the anthems? Are you talking about the preschoolers teaching the?
Yeah, preschoolers not so.
Teaching the melody a little bit?
Yeah, and then there are other books that have just the stories, but you can add preschoolers too with your older kids and give them like the repeated parts. Absolutely, you could do that with preschool. Especially we do that around Christmas time, don't we? Because we're sort of parents want to see their children. Whether we think they're developmentally ready to get up in front of the public, we just know that the parents want to see, grandparents want to see their children. So we need to give them something successful. And one way to do it is combine it with older children and give them something simple.
There is, we have a school also, and so there is a little teeny music company. It's a school company that they do some sacred things to, out of some obscure little town in Wisconsin, and they have a magazine called Music K8.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about? They have a musical nativity in 15 minutes for pre-K.
That's right. They have a sacred.
It's like
Is it Plank Road?
Plank Road Publishing. Plank Road
If
Publishing.
you just do music8.com.
It's the entire nativity play. I kid you not, in 15 minutes, and every song is 1 page long. I did it with mine, and now they want it every year. But not every 3- and 4-year-old class is necessarily ready for it. But if you've got the group, it's real.
There you go. Yeah, you don't want to put, if you do a Christmas musical or a spring musical or a full-blown thing, you don't want preschoolers to have to be in that the whole time. So you can find a piece for them to do. But something like that where it's actually structured just for them is absolutely perfect. Yeah. Good. I love Music K8.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Who else?
But where did you say that one grandbaby doing the 3-year-old?
It's in the Forester. It's in the Forester, starting August, September issue. Other comments? Anytime you can incorporate personal touches like that, that let them in to see a little bit of you and your fun nature, it's a really good thing to do. So we don't have to stand behind a music stand and act like choral conductors all the time. But sometimes they need to know that you will sit on the floor and play with bears and apples with them, or you'll sing a song about your dog, because they relate to those kinds of personal experiences, and you win their hearts. And when you win their hearts, then you make those connections, and then you can share your faith. So there's just so much that we can do with that. Plus, it's fun. And you know what? I tell them, if I'm not having fun, you're not. So if I'm bored to death in front of them, they're probably bored to death too. And that's kind of my thermostat. Like, I am bored, I need to stop and do something else. Yeah. Okay. In the morning, we will have in here, I'll be doing resources, talking a little bit about resources for Foresters Guild. I'm actually going to repeat this session and the one I did earlier sometime tomorrow. And then y'all got the notes. I'm not going to go home and figure out what I'm doing. I haven't really read. But there's going to be some fun things. There are lots and lots of good things tomorrow for children's choirs. So don't go home and forget to set your alarm.